Feeling vibes on vibes. I'm freaking dynamite. I blow your candle lights. You know I'm just that type. No, them no fit kill my vibe. Them no fit kill my vibe.
Yeah, welcome back to my channel. Today we are headed to Harlem Fashion Rose, a sustainability summit. Super excited. Got 20 with me. Say thank you. Thank you. Say hey 20. Hey girl, hey. So we're gonna take you along with us. See you soon.
Basically, folks like yourselves need to definitely pay attention to the regulations because it doesn't exempt you. There are requirements, particularly for
students that will come in and they will work on this.
What are some of the sustainable materials that HM is most excited about? Like, is there anything that we don't know about that you guys can give us a sneak peek on?
Let's talk about that. We're really actually excited. One of our investments is with a textile to textile demonstration plant, actually here in the United States, North Carolina, Cedar Creek.
What part? Oh,
Cedar Creek, about an hour outside of Fayetteville.
wait a minute. All right.
So we are partnered with Vargas Holdings, and so we are a major investor into this facility. Basically what this means is that we are partnering with a lot of textile collectors trying to get a certain amount and certain quality of polyester so that they can recycle it.
It's incredibly, you have to trust, right? Like as a brand, you have to trust that the factory is doing the right thing. Where you've seen one thread coming out of a button, you're like, oh dear Lord. That's the ugliest thing I've ever come into the studio and work. And that, again, like that's so valuable to how, people don't design all the time with the actual human, in their mind or in front of them. So I think it's something that just can't be lost, I guess, the craft, and it goes down to even like, again, how you manufacture. Like, you want the way you manufacture. I mean, it was touched on by several of the other panelists today. Like, the manufacturing that you do, like, has to be ethical. It has to treat people like craftspeople and not like, not human.
Journalist, editorial leader, and content strategist based here in New York, and I'm very excited about our conversation today. We have an esteemed
my life that there was never a way to merge sports merchandising just with personality too. Like, if it wasn't jerseys, like, that was it. And what made it personal for me was that I was just like, during COVID, I taught myself how to sew. I wanted to make something for myself that badly because I couldn't find it in stores. So just with that motivation, I was able to just kind of jump into it and just get a better understanding of like what it takes to be in a sustainable world and like what's the motive behind it. So as I was like producing and getting myself into the winds of it, it really brought this new vision in my life that
Fashion as just fashion. I always seen it as a means of expression, an art form, and honestly, coming from a lower income housing environment, I knew early on it meant it was, a way to take myself somewhere else. Whether that be like me closing my eyes and just visualizing things as a little girl. Some of the things that I've actually accomplished now, I think I just at 6, 7 years old was like, but I was always masterminding things, cutting things up, figuring out how to rewear things. I have an older brother, so those clothes were passed down. So
You look 20 years old, okay?
You're supposed to let them say it, not you.
And we were designing for a lot of urban celebrity brands and working for a lot of big companies. So we were doing whatever the market dictated, right? And even when we had done like little projects in our own capsule collections, we were also doing what we knew to do.
We would literally go into the boutiques that we wanted to be in and see what they were designing, and we would design a version of that.
But in 2020, something happened. It's a long story, too much to tell now, but it's told many times on the internet somewhere, you can find it. We had an epiphany, we had an epiphany that we shouldn't be comfortable or give up on our dreams because we had been doing it for so long that we were sort of kind of tired and burnt out. And
at this point, we were working full-time for a menswear brand. I was designing and Glenn was doing the marketing for the same brand.
But in 2020, we had this epiphany that we needed to start again and not get comfortable with where we were and to dream again. And that dream sort of just opened up a whole new realm for us. And we started creating really what flowed out of us naturally.
As opposed to what we saw in the market. We were like, okay, when we sit down to design, this is what comes out. And so let's just do what comes out.
And that's when it became personal for us. It was about designing what made the childhood Bruce Glenn happy,
As you can see, right?
Lots of color, lots of pattern, lots of print. And that's our story.
And that was like really.
for me, I sometimes get brought in as a silent partner. I'm sure most people understand here what an NDA is. So I don't always get a front-facing credit, and that's amazing to me because that's not why I do it. But when I am working with artists, I'm usually brought in by either a creative director, a record label, and I prefer to work under a referral basis. As a woman, my research, and I'm pouring back into my community and looking for who might be next up or who hasn't had this brand platform yet, like the NHL gave yourself a platform. We want to create these opportunities. So I'm not sure if that completely answers your question, but what I do is I curate, and when they get to my rack, that's my time with that person now. I'm face to face with you. I'm not talking to your team. I'm not on an email. I'm not behind a Zoom screen. How are you feeling today? I'm looking at their socks. I'm looking at things that they brought in. Did you bring in like a...
That alone of involving baseball aesthetic pieces was a great recipe to jump into the NHL, which is why they even reached out in the first place. It's about tying together certain fabrics, details, vintage patches, and trying to tell the story cohesively into one piece. So I feel like that's the way I was able to integrate it.
All right, Bruce and Glenn, as twins, how do you push each other creatively when it comes to designing with both purpose and longevity in mind?
Yeah, as much as we are alike, we're different in a lot of ways. Bruce is the creative spirit of the duo, and I'm usually the one that has the voice of reason, knocking down ideas, killing dreams. No, I'm joking, as I like to describe it. So Bruce usually handles all the design portions. I'm great with color and merchandising, and just reminding the team, what is best for the business, yeah.
So we are back from Harlem Fashion Rose Sustainability Forum. This is their 4th annual forum this year.
And our first time going.
Okay. So Jessie, what did you think?
I loved it. I mean, honestly, a lot of the information was great for people who are like fashion designers and upcoming, fashion designers. Even though we're not fashion designers, we're fashion lovers. And, it was fashionistas. It was definitely, nice to get all that information to know how like these brands are basically, trying to make sure that the clothing that they have are sustainable, to the earth, because, today is National, Earth Day? Yes, Earth Day. So that's why, this is a perfect forum on this day. So yeah, it was a lot of information. We got to hear from H&M, Macy's, and as well as Bruce Glenn and a couple of other people. So yeah, what you Jessica?
Yeah, I like that. I enjoyed getting a go bag. So we got like a goodie bag, which I love. Gotta love a goodie bag. I think it was really cool because I think even if whether or not you're the designer, it's always good to know about like the work that goes into clothes, like, and you know how if we want to stay here for a long time, right? So it's always nice to hear the different things that they're doing in order to make fashion sustainable. So I thought it was really cool, and it was just nice. It was also just nice to network with other people. I saw some people from other events that I recognized, so it's just nice to network and just catch up and just, you know, be the vibes. And I feel like they had good food, great vibes, great picture, very picturesque spot. So loved it. No complaints here.
No complaints. So yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, we will catch you next time.
Feeling vibes on vibes. I'm a ticking dynamite. I blow your gun